tanto jugando suelto como en competición. Tanto si se trata de un rápido 9 hoyos o de un gran 36. Tanto si juegas bajo presión o arrasando, siempre das lo mejor de ti. Nuevo Fuel de FootJoy.
Good, Kevin. Tell me, how'd you characterize your round out there today?
Well, obviously really good. I mean, shot 7 under. I was just saying then, I never felt like I was playing particularly great. I never felt comfortable with my swing. I haven't played well this week. But today was the day where I had, nothing destructive in there. If I missed a shot, it was like a skanky one that would be in place somewhere, and then I had a chance to go from there. I putted really, really well. And it was just that I literally made 0 mistakes, and then I hit a few good shots where then I capitalised on it, and I was just it feels like you should be able to do that all the time, but unfortunately that's not the case. Just like happy to give myself a chance to play at the weekend and then go out and put a round together like that. I was really happy with.
Can you sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Can you give an example of how much difference it was today without very little wind as opposed to yesterday? Maybe a shot here or there?
It's hard, really. I think it's obviously massively easier. I think one of the difficult things about the wind blowing here is that once you get into the trees, you can't feel it all the time. Sometimes your shot has got half protected by trees, half, out in the open. Ball flight's changing all the time, so actually distance control is such a difficult thing when the wind is blowing the way it was yesterday. And the course, one of the biggest differences was how receptive the course was today. So firm yesterday. Even I teed off at 7:20 yesterday morning. It was still really firm in the morning. So I think that was one of the biggest differences, and just makes it's such a difference when you're just looking at pins that are 4 or 5 from the left, and when there's no wind around, you dictate what you're doing with the golf ball and what shot you're hitting, and the way that you want it to come into the hole. And when the wind's blowing, you're fighting against the wind, and you're hitting a shot that works against the wind. So there's a few differences, and the scoring will be a mile different today.
Can you pinpoint 1 or 2 shots that you were really happy with, really good ones from today?
I think the 6-iron on 4 was a great shot. I was really happy with that one. And then I think I hit a couple of really good short shots, really, like the lofted shot on 8 I hit from right of the green. People think nothing of them when you made 7 birdies, but I can easily make bogey there by not doing anything different. Momentum sort of halted a little bit. So that was the big one. And then probably, I know I hold a long one on 14, which was great, but then 15, I hit a bad tee shot, got away with it, pitched it out and made a 4 on 15, which was like gaining a shot after the tee shot. So things like that happen on a day that you shoot 7 under are going to happen, but they do make a big difference.
And then having a chance to maybe go out and compete for a win tomorrow, is that exciting? Is that,
Well, we'll see where I stand. I mean, I might be way back by the time I tee off tomorrow. I think the biggest things for me is sort of the consistency that I'm putting together, and I think a week like this week, so far there's still a day to go, but I haven't played well this week, and when you've not been playing well for a long time, or you've not competed at the top end for a long time, results come very, very difficult. And I felt like at times this year I've played really, really well. But the hardest thing is to actually get a result. I've played consistently, but then finishing 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th just feel really, really difficult. And so far this week I feel like I haven't played well, and I happen to be up in contention. And I think when your game starts to come back, and when you start to play at the level that you want to play at, you get weeks like this where you feel like, not played well this week, but you're actually still up there at the end. And I think that's another sign for me that I have to look as a real positive, is that my game's coming back, the consistency in what I'm doing is coming back, and I'm sort of starting to build some results where they've not been top 5s at all, but it's still like a very sort of consistent base that I think if I keep doing the things that I'm doing, then I can progress and start building better results.
Thanks.
What has kept you from pulling that long hair out over this long period of time?
I pull it out all the time. It just grows. It just grows quick. Well, no, I like everybody else in the sport. In any sport, you're trying so hard, and you have such high expectations of yourself, and you're not getting those results. It's difficult, and it's frustrating. just is what it is. You have to get up every week and go and keep working hard and keep practicing. And I've said it a few times over the last year, standards getting higher and higher. So if you're not playing well, you're slipping. You know, the gap gets bigger, effectively. So you just have to keep up. You keep having to play your game and trying to find what's right for you and keep doing it. And I think definitely this year, I feel like I'm on much better track. I don't feel like I'm trying to find it every week like I was. I got caught up in, I was never playing that well, and then I always was trying to find like the secret, and then I was never ready to play. I was always working on something on the range, thinking I need to hit it better, and then by the time I came to play, I was never ready. And I think this year I've got a much better mix of like practice, getting better, being ready to play, and actually, you know, I'm performing better and at a more consistent level, and we'll see where it goes. But when you're doing that, it's much easier to be accepting in yourself, because you feel like you've done the right things. I feel like I'm getting better. Like maybe this week's not my week, but next week could be. And when you're week in, week out trying to find it, you know, like every day makes such a difference to you.
And did you have as much fun in the par 3 contest as your little one did?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, not even sure he remembers it. It's a week ago. He's not bothered. It was a week ago. But yeah, he was so excited, and I think it's something that's really unique and special to the Masters, that, you know, they have something like that, and they, you know, whether you play good or bad, like it gives you and your family memories for life, really. And Frankie completely stole the show. I mean, he left me for dead, which was fine. But yeah, it was an amazing time for us, and you know, before you know it, they grow up quick, don't they? So I'll enjoy it while I can.
Thanks,
No worries, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Tommy.
El nuevo Pro SL no tiene clavos, pero tiene un agarre increíble. Con una plancha de carbono adicional para optimizar el retorno de energía y un nuevo y moderno diseño, el zapato original de máximo rendimiento sin clavos tiene algunas ventajas importantes.